Hey, what's up? It's Enigma Hood. So there's a new song that's out by a country singer named Brad Paisley, and it features LL Cool J. It's called Accidental Racist. And there's been a hornet's nest that's been going on the internet, and it's about the controversy that this song has stirred up. And I didn't even know about this song. I didn't know about the controversy until my friend Brian brought it to my attention. Now, he's white, and all of his friends are white, aside from me. And all of his friends, all of his white friends were saying that the song is very racist, apparently. And he wanted to hear a different perspective, and he knows that I'm very opinionated, and he knows that I fight for equal rights for other people and things like that. So he wanted to know what I thought of it, so maybe I could give my 2 cents. And I said, sure, and I listened to the video, I listened to the song, and I can safely say that there is absolutely nothing racist about that song. It is 100% non-racist. It's completely innocent, and I would play it for all of you right now, but YouTube has been going on a Nazi manhunt with any video that is playing that song and is taking it down. That's the irony, actually. You know, the song's not racist, but YouTube's going on a Nazi manhunt. Or maybe it's not their fault. Maybe they're just acting upon the publisher's will. Whatever the case is, I'm going to post a link to the song where you can listen to it in the description. Hopefully that's not taken down. But I can talk a little bit about what the song is about. Now, while the song itself is not racist, and I don't want anyone to think that it is, some of the positions that Brad takes are fallacious and perhaps ignorant. Also, some of the things that LL Cool J has said are rather inane, and I find them to be platitudes as well. One of the things that Brad talks about is that he seems to be proud of, you know, his culture, his state or whatever, the South. He's proud of that whole thing. And he's also proud of the Confederate flag. I'm assuming he's talking about the Confederate flag. He keeps on talking about the red flag. How many other red flags are we talking about here? He's probably talking about the red flag, the Confederate flag. I do consider the Confederate flag to be a racist symbol. It's often used by racists as a symbol of racism. So because of that association, that alone would make it racist, but also the historical context. The Confederacy existed solely for the purpose of continuing slavery under the guise of states' rights. They were trying to use states' rights and espouse them so that they can continue slavery unmolested by the federal government. That's the reason why they seceded. They all immediately seceded after Abraham Lincoln won the election, these racist bigots. So that country, the Confederate States of America, solely existed under the premise of this racist ideology of slavery. And that's despicable. Now, maybe he doesn't see it that way. Maybe a lot of other innocent Southerners do not see it that way. I would not accuse them of racism, obviously, in that case. I would just accuse them of being ignorant. They should know better. And I'm telling you right now that there's nothing to be proud of with the Confederate flag or the Confederate States of America. They were a seditious, rebellious entity. They plotted to usurp the power of the American government. They are, by definition, terrorists. That's what they are. The other thing is that I find his position, Brad's position, to be somewhat of a straw man. He seems to be saying, hey, stop blaming me for slavery. Stop blaming me for all the bad things that my ancestors have done. I don't think anyone was blaming Brad for slavery. If they were, then they were wrong. But when we're talking about slavery, and we're talking about how America was wrong for having slavery, and how the South was wrong for seceding from the Union so that they can continue slavery using states' rights. We're treating each of those entities as an entity itself, and that's separate from the people. So like when we're talking about North Korea and how they're going crazy with the nuclear arms race and things like that, we're not talking about the people of North Korea. That's a separate issue from the entity itself, and that's North Korea. So yes, America is to blame for slavery. Yes, the South is to blame for the Civil War. Yes, they are to blame for the Civil War. And we're blaming them, and they still have that blame. They still have that guilt. Nothing changes about that. Just because those people are long dead doesn't mean that the entities associated are suddenly expunged from guilt. They're not. They're still to blame. But you're not supposed to conflate those entities with the people, and that's what Brad is doing, and I find that to be either disingenuous or ignorant. Probably ignorant. And then there was one lyric by LL Cool J where he said something along the lines of, if you don't judge me for my gold chains, I will forgive you for the iron chains. You know, it's just some retarded lyric. He's basically saying, I can forgive you for slavery. First of all, Brad's not to blame for slavery, so you shouldn't be forgiving him for anything. That's also a straw man, again. And you shouldn't forgive America for slavery. That's unforgivable. It's one of the worst atrocities ever committed in the history of mankind. That, under no circumstances, should we ever forgive America for slavery. So yeah, I mean, I guess to sum things up, I can say that there's nothing racist about the song, but the song itself is rather stupid and has some really bad positions. But those are just, those have nothing to do with whether or not it's racist or not. They're not racist. They're just ignorant positions, I suppose. They're not good arguments, let's put it that way. But I do appreciate what Brad tried to do, and I do appreciate him at least opening up dialogue on this, because that's a good thing to do. And he did admit in an interview with Jay Leno that the song is not perfect. And, I don't know if he said this, but he said, whatever. He said that the song is not perfect. And certainly it's not. And, I mean, from a melodic point of view, does the song sound good? I'm not really into country music, so I'm already biased against it. But, you guys listen to it yourself, and let me know what you think of it. This is Enigma Hood signing off.